Hi, folks. Hope you're all doing good. Doing something a bit different today, which is a review of the album From Genesis to Revelation by the band Genesis. It's their first album, and I think it's a pretty good one, though it's a bit different to their other albums. It's more like 1960s pop. So then after this album, they went on to do 1970s kind of prog rock and then 1980s pop. So this album's a bit unique in their catalog. So I think it's probably maybe the fourth best album. I'd say Nursery Crime, Foxtrot, Selling England by the Pound, and The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway are better than this album for me, but it's pretty good considering this is where they started. And I think in a way they went backwards, as I just suggested. Their second, I didn't mention the second album, Trespass, here. I felt they went backwards slightly with that. It's got some really brilliant bits on it. They went away from sort of traditional songs with that maybe a bit too far. And so I think this first one's a good one. It is a little bit dated. There's a lot of strings on it. I enjoy strings, but maybe it's a bit overdone. It's a little bit too 1960s style strings. So before I press on, I should say I know this album since I was a child. My brother got me into Genesis as a kid, and I used to listen to this quite often. I never quite remembered which song was which. There's 13 songs on this, and they all kind of blend into one, some of them, which is something I will address now. So I think two problems with the album. One, the songs have obscure titles. That really doesn't help you learn which song is which. So the titles aren't normally the main words that are being sung in the choruses. So that is a mistake in my opinion. I don't like it when bands do this too much anyway. For some occasional masterpiece like Kashmir or Viva La Vida, you can have they can call it anything really. But if you're gonna have most of your album having strange titles, it's gonna get a little bit impractical, I think. And the other thing I think could be addressed is I like albums to start with kind of the worst song and then build up to the best song. So their album order doesn't quite do that, although it actually isn't far off. I think I've kind of thought of my own order. So I've got my own track order and my own names of the songs, so which I can take you through now, which will work as a kind of worst to best list of the songs. So I would start the album with a song that they called In the Beginning. I would call it It Has Begun, which is pretty similar, but those are the words they actually say in the chorus. So, well, I should mention that there's some kind of story to this whole thing. It's supposed to be a history of the world or something, so I'm messing with that a little bit, but not in the case of In the Beginning, I think, because that surely is. They are talking about the beginning of the world, I think, in that song. So I'll sing you bits of the song, because if you're like me, you're not going to know. If I start talking about, for example, In Limbo or In the Wilderness or something, then you're not going to remember, if you're like me, which song that is. So this first song, It Has Begun, goes, ocean emotion, la 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 la. Oh, I don't know all the lyrics, by the way. La 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 la, light of a blah la la la. It has begun. Do 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 do. You're in the arms of destiny. Do do do. Okay. Next song would be one they called The Serpent. I would call it Waking Up. That's what they actually say in the song, though the serpent gets a bit of a mention, I think. It goes dun 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 dun. La 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 la. Creator prepares for the dawn of man. You're waking up. The day of incarnation. Man is wonderful, very wonderful. Look at him. Beware the future. Da, 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 da. Do, 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 do. Okay, so that's the one. That's that one. It's probably my least favorite on the album, to be honest. Actually, I should mention it's my second least favorite. There's a song which they put last, which is called a Place to Call My Own, I think. I don't think that really works. It's kind of a bit of a half-finished thing. The first half is like some very slow kind of ballad thing. And then it goes into what seemed to be a bunch of what sound like backing vocals or something for another minute. It's only 2 minutes long. I would just leave that off the album, so I'm forgetting about that one. So my third song I would have, which they called When the Sour Turns to Sweet, and they kicked off their album with this one. I would call it Join Us Now. It goes diddle diddle la 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 la, where the sour turns to sweet. La 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 la. Can you sense the change? La 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 la. Do do do. We're waiting for you. Do do do. Come and join us now. Do do do. We need you with us. Do do do. Come and join us now. Yeah, I like that chorus. It's quite anthemic, I think. They started the album, and yeah, it's like their first album. So I think they were trying to do a thing like come and join us, come and join the band, come and join the movement kind of thing, which kind of works as well. But I think It Has Begun is also appropriate. So fourth track is The Conqueror. It's a bit of a perfect pop song, this a rock song. It goes dun 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 la 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 dun 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 dun. And the heads they are rolling, 'cause the conqueror is on his way. Dun, 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 dun. So that's an example of them picking the correct title for the song. The fifth track I would have is one that, again, they got the right title. They call it One Day. I think it should be called One Day. So how does that one go? It goes, don't get me wrong, I think I'm in love. La 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 la. One day and la 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 la. One day and la 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 la. That's that one. That's pretty good. I think it's good, like brass instruments getting kind of louder and louder to a kind of crescendo at the end. Okay, so the sixth song would be one they obscurely call Window. I would call it Come See Me. So that goes, come see me, take my hand. La 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 la. And the verse is la 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 la. La 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 la. That's that. Yeah, really perfect songwriting, brilliant sort of verse, bridge, and chorus there, which I did in the wrong order. So that would be the end of side one in vinyl terms. So side two the seventh song I would have is one called In Limbo. It's the last of the upbeat ones. I think it's the best of the upbeat ones. I would In Limbo doesn't work for me as a title for reasons I've already given. I would call it Take Me Away, which are words they say throughout the song, I think in verse and the chorus. So how does it go? Doon, do, 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 doon. Take me away. Do, 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 doon. Take me away. La 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 la. Take me away. La 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 la. Take me away. La 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 la. No, I'm not singing it quite right. Anyway, you get the gist. Next, I'd hit, I think, 3 classic, really slow numbers from the album, starting with one that they called Fireside Song. Obscure again. I would call it Once Upon a Time. Those are the main words they're saying in the chorus. It's a real classic. So, how does the verse go? Yeah, I forget. The chorus is, anyway, once upon a time there was confusion, disappointment, la 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 la. And then the verse I remember now is it came to pass, la 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 la. And then the chorus, once upon a time, and so on. That's really brilliant. Next one I would have is Am I Very Wrong? Now they named this after the first line of the verse. I don't like it when bands do that. I think we should, as I mentioned, it should be the word said in the chorus. But anyway, they went with that style of song naming. So it goes, I would call it Birthday Friend, which I think is what he's saying in the chorus. So, although the fact they named it after the first line makes it very easy to remember how the song starts. It goes, am I very wrong? La 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 la. Am I very wrong? The happiness machine is trying hard to sing my song. Do 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 do. It's your birthday, friend. Everything alright? La 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 la. Happy friend. Everything alright? Actually, on the album, they've got some of these choruses are sung by another member of the band, or maybe the whole band or something. I'm not exactly sure who's singing. I think I've heard somewhere it might be Tony Banks singing, but it's kind of interesting. I think that it kind of works for this style of music to have this person singing in a more sort of English kind of hymn or folky sort of way for the chorus. Anyway, next we're on to the last 3 songs of the album. So there's a song called In Hiding. I'm tempted to call it Pick Me Up. That's the main thing they say in the chorus, but it sounds a little bit sus. Also, In Hiding is said in the chorus, so maybe I would go with the title In Hiding. So it goes, in hiding, la 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 la. La 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 la. This is beauty, I know. I'm in love with it all. La 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 la. In hiding, pick me up, put me down, push me in, turn me round. La la la, let me go. I have a mind of my own. That's great. Next, I would have the aforementioned In the Wilderness. That's what they called it. I would call it Music. It's not a great title, but it is the main word they seem to be saying in the chorus. So, how does that go? La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Do do Music, all I hear is music. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Get the picture. And I would finish the album with the classic The Silent Sun, and I would break with my tradition of doing the words from the chorus. I'm pretty used to this thing being called The Silent Sun. It's a great title. It is from the verse, but anyway. And for completeness, even though you may well know this song, I will sing it. Diddle-dum, da-da-da-da-da-da. Diddle-dum, da-da-da-da. The silent sun that never shines. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Baby, you feel so close. I wish you could see my love. Baby, you changed my life. I'm trying to show you, la la la. And on that happy note, I will end this video. I hope you enjoyed my singing as much as I did, and I urge you to check out the real music from this album. All the best.